Thank you. Recording.
Ning. Oh, she's putting in her headphones. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once she gets hooked up. Oh, I usually go to like 8:05 and then I get started.
Okay.
4 minutes.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Sure can.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, can you hear me now?
We can hear you, Princess. How are you?
Okay.
Which-
I'm Princess Umo.
Okay, there we go.
Good. Hi, how are you? Hi, everybody.
Hi, sweetheart.
Jiwim. Yeah,
Which Jiwim?
I'm good. Jiwim 55.
Got it.
Perfect.
Nigeria 5.
Okay, thank you.
Princess, why are you here today? You don't join this group. She's always on Thursday.
Ah.
Answer, why are you here today?
But then the question is, how do you know if she's on Thursday if you're here today?
I believe so because I know she'll be there somehow, but I've never seen her on Tuesday.
She's welcome whenever she wants to come.
I know, I'm fully Alex.
Oh, 2 Ritas joined. Hi, Ritas.
Hi.
Nice to see you. And our other Rita is showered. She's all ready.
See you
And
today.
beautiful Inzira.
Good to join you today.
Hi, hello, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm
Hi,
by
sweetie.
you.
Okay, nice, thank you. Fine.
Imas is coming. Good. Oh,
Nice.
Noor.
Hello? Huh?
We just get so excited when we see people logging in. I'm really getting used to having these regular check-ins. It's kind of nice.
I know, and everyone's getting so comfortable with the technology.
I know. What a difference from our first one, huh?
Jackie O. Yeah, what a difference.
We'll give it 1 more minute and then we'll get started.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, Jackie.
Chisu, how are you doing?
I'm good, sweetie. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Sorry about the loss of your dad.
Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that.
May God rest his soul in peace. I just said this.
Thank you all. You're so sweet.
Mama Kathy, where is
Yes.
your breakfast?
I had it already.
Hi, Nur. Are you fasting, Nur? Nur for DC?
Yes, I am fast.
Are you fasting?
Mm-hmm.
Fasting. So this is my evening dinner.
Yeah. What are you eating?
Only papaya.
Only papaya. That's not
Ooh.
dinner.
Yummy.
Yeah, it's too big for me.
It's because we're staying home.
Yeah, I stay home for 2 months. It's very, very bad. Very, very bad for my weight.
Are you still doing your yoga, Amelia?
Yeah, every day I yoga, sometime in the morning or in the evening.
Nice.
But
Good.
still not enough because then there is no workout.
It's good for you mentally, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try to meditation, but it's very difficult because after 10 minutes I go to sleep.
All right, well, let's get started. let's do our little introductions here. Amelia, do you want to start since you were talking?
Okay. Hello everybody. Good evening from Indonesia, Jakarta. I am Emilia from GWIM 67.
Thank you. And Neela?
Hello, I'm Nila from Indonesia, JWIM 54.
Perfect. And Rita? Let's do Rita.
Hi, Rita Basede, Join 55, Nigerian.
Perfect. And our other Rita?
Good night from PNG. I'm Rita from GWIM 64.
Perfect. Jacqueline?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jacqueline from GWIM 45.
Welcome. How about Imas? Oh. Let's see. Might be frozen.
Imas.
I'll come back to Imas. How about Ense?
Hi, everybody. GWIM 46.
Nigeria. Welcome.
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Katarina?
Hi, my name is Katarina from Indonesia, GWIM 58.
Welcome, Katarina.
Thank
And
you.
Zira?
Hi, my name is Nzira from Mozambique, GWIM 58.
Welcome. How about Princess? Princess
Hi,
Obi.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
GWIM 62. Nigeria.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And our other princess.
Hello,
Hello.
it's Princess Umo, GWIM 55, Nigeria.
Welcome. And Noor.
Hi,
Thank
I'm
you.
Noor from Jakarta, GWIM 54.
Welcome, Noor.
Thank you.
And let's see. And then we have Haraning.
Hi, Harining from Greater Jakarta, GWIM 61.
Welcome.
Thank you, Jen.
We're going to hear more from you in just a minute. And then Mulya, I think Mulya was going to step away. So we'll come back. Oh, and then we have Tia. Hi, Tia.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank
Can you tell everyone your GWIM?
I'm Pia from GWIM 66, Indonesia.
Welcome. Okay, and then of course we have Mama Ketty, and we have Noor, and we have Sue, and then we have Daniela, who is our guest expert today, who's going to be talking to us about managing your team's emotions. So welcome, Daniela.
Hello, I'm also a GWIM 60.
Yay! We've got GWIMs represented. Perfect. And Daniela is from Romania, but calling in from California, her new home. So, okay. I think, did I miss anyone? I'm looking at my board.
I don't think so.
I think I got everybody. Okay, so let me go ahead and share the screen. And let's see, are you all able to see that now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, Haraning, maybe you could, if you could go over your case and tell us what your main issues are, and then we'll open it up for questions and feedback.
Okay. Let me unmute myself.
Yep, we hear you.
Okay, you hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait. This is really a technology in play. Okay. Can I start now, Jen?
Yes, but want me to make it a little bigger?
No, I'm using my own document.
Oh,
not
okay.
using because it's the same, right?
Yep,
completely
it's the same.
Okay, yeah. So, what is the key question? This is about what rebuilding scheme work program, plan, or business model as well as mindset or attitude that can be prepared for the post-COVID. So my case is really the scenario that we can build, that can prepare for the post-COVID, after the COVID. So I'm doing this representing or under Rumah Budaya Sumba. Rumah is house in bahasa in Indonesian. It is our Sumba House of Culture. I'm doing it this Sumba House of Culture under Sumba Cultural Research and Conservation Institute. Sumba is an island. Then it is 40 minutes flying from Bali. Nah, so it's in the province of East Nusa Tenggara, Indonesia. So and then what is the organizational system, programmatic, and management issue? This is related with the situation, the current situation with there is no visitor, tourists coming to Sumba. Or I think it's also nobody traveling right now. Nobody wish becoming a tourist right now. So it's basically affecting income for the organization. And on that situation, various alternative income generation scheme must be explored. And then the second thing, information and promotion on Sumba cultural attraction should be enhanced. Among other, it is as we are doing it right now, utilizing digital platform to reach out, more importantly, wider group, especially the young people. So this is the details, some worldwide facts that I would like to share. This pandemic, based on the World Tour and Tourism Council, cut for at average 50 million job for the whole world. And this is Asia is that expected to be the worst affected. And then it is 30 million job cut in Asia and 7 million in Europe, 5 million in America and the rest of the world. I think everybody's suffering in the tourism, in the traveling industry. And then the tourism industry currently account for 10% of global GDP. And then the forecast that once the outbreak is over, it could take up to 10 months for the industry to recover. Okay, and then for the facts on Indonesia level, Jakarta as the national capital, we implement the large, we call it PSBB, but that's for large scale of social restriction. For Jakarta only because the decision, the law has to be implemented province by province. So I'm referring to Jakarta. Jakarta implemented on 7 April last month, and then this is under a law, and it is basically just a step below a total area lockdown. So we are not applying total area lockdown. And then related to the tourism and travel industry, based on the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy data, I take it last March data. I don't want to take it the April data. April data, everything is completely stopped. Diving industry suffer 100% cancellation. Travel bureau 94.1% drop, and also for the recreational sport. So my vision for what we can do after the post-COVID, it is like, first, for our organization, for Rumah Budaya Sumba, first we have to maintain consistency on service in quality and quantity, and 2, tapping local resources, and 3, innovation or added value of the service. And above that maintenance, we also would like to focus more on the organization adaptability and agility while managing the changes on business model as well as mindset, as well as the mindset. And at the same time, it is becoming our reflection itself that we are envisioning that through this challenge, we hope, we wish our constructive effort will make us implement sustainable tourism concept. And then the data that support our concept, our thought, that is we would like to focus, after the post-COVID, we would like to focus on local and domestic tourists. Why? Because the discussion on the tourism industry, international tourism, international travel, they will not make any travel until the antivirus or the vaccine discovered, invented. So it's impossible for us to expect them to come. So we would rather to focus on the local and domestic tourists under a profile of a group, in a small group, close destination group, the one who wish to do a cross destination travel, and the one who doing it under special team. And then we also would like to exploring trend on culinary trip, social media travel. It is like the one who promoting it in Instagram and everything else. And also business leisure, but business leisure more or less is not suitable for me in my analysis, not suitable for Rumah Budaya Sumba, but we can do it. And then last, on the digital capacity, we have to prepare it to attract millennial. It is because we agree that the millennial and Gen Y, they're the group, they're more open to embrace, we call it sustainable tourism. And okay, and then the number 9, what I would like to expect from the discussion is, in the context of management of change, I would like to have discussion more on what should be prepared for us to reactivate or re-energize the organization in the post-COVID era. I think that's all.
Yeah,
Thank
perfect.
You, Jen.
Thank you, Harening. So
Excellent.
the big question, the kind of general question, which I'm sure all of us are facing, is how to rebuild after COVID, how to be thinking about what happens next, both in your mindset as well as in your programs and your attitude. And then there's some more specific questions about the actual tourism industry, which has a particular challenge. So how do you do that in an industry that is probably going to be slowed down and suffering for a little bit? So how do you attract new customers and change your model and offer value add and services that might attract a new customer base in this period of uncertainty? So let me pull down the case and let's open it up to questions. What clarifying questions do you have for Ning before we open it up to recommendations? Harening, I have a question about competition in country. I know yours is a cultural organization, and is that a strong draw for tourism in the country? Are there other organizations and companies promoting that, or how competitive is that?
Tourism, the trend right now, that the discussion that I follow, now we are doing tourism because we want to seek experience. And then the experience that people now pursuing is day by day they becoming aware that Indonesia have many attraction places, culturally and also naturally. So but if you asking the cultural attraction as our competitor, because Jakarta, the national capital, is the biggest pocket of customer that we have to tap. People in Jakarta always, first they will go to a place that more economic friendly for them. Mm-hmm. So the first place they will go is Yogyakarta. That's my opinion. My friend in Indonesia can help me. So that's why Yogyakarta becoming crowded. Tia can witness that. So because for people in Jakarta, Yogyakarta is closer, and there are many cultural attraction in Yogyakarta. That's why for you, if you are looking for competition, because I'm focusing on the local level, and the pocket money is in Jakarta. Jakarta people always go to Jogja first, and then they go to Bali, and then after that they will go elsewhere. But sometimes they skip, but nobody skip Bali, I think.
Everybody loves Bali.
Everybody try to go to Bali first.
Yeah. So there is competition, but with in other cities in other areas of the country, and not so much in the region where you are.
Sumba is an island, consists of 4 districts, and actually there are only 2 airports in the East Sumba, in the Southwest Sumba, and my organization is the one who close to the Southwest Sumba. But the textile industry, I call it textile, not textile, handwoven production center. It is more on the East Sumba, which is having also that airport. So in terms of an island, it is like there are two big centers in the Southwest Sumba and the East Sumba. And the thing is, my organization in Southwest Sumba, it is under a church. It is the director is a priest who really passionate about promoting culture. He is a son, a native son of Sumba, of Southwest Sumba, even more. And even our organization heavily supported by rich Jakarta people. I should admit that our volunteer, our biggest donors, is more most of them in Jakarta.
Okay, so you have individual wealthy donors from Jakarta that support the organization.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Neela, you have a question?
Yes. I would like to ask about whether this organization have the collaboration with the local NGO stakeholder, especially tourist agency under the government's authorities locally in Sumba Island. I mean.
Yeah. Oh, definitely Nila, definitely Mbak. Everybody in Sumba know Father Robert because the director is a priest. We call it Father Robert. Everybody know him. So from our organization run a cultural center. I think that's the only one cultural center that can give us enough information about Sumba cultural information. So everybody know him, and he work also very well with everybody in Sumba.
Thank you.
It looks like there's a comment from Tia, and she says, I heard COVID maybe for tourism will recover after 2 years from now. Do you think of any transition phase in between? It's hard to move community-based tourism in Sumba since it's an ancient culture. So is there a thought about a transition? And maybe that's part of what your question is, Harening, right?
Yeah.
If you have to wait 2 years, I think in your case you said 10 months, but Tia's hearing even longer.
Yeah. While we are anticipating that, we would like that's why we have to develop a business model that more depending on the digital platform to promote our organization. But while promoting it, we also while promoting it, we also trying to develop more income generating. It is like coffee in Sumba. It's also wonderful. And then first is coffee, the handwoven cloth. It's also, I also bring the other one. Handwoven cloth is also beautiful in Sumba, but there are also another thing that we would like to explore, like some people doing virtual tour, and then yes, it is hard for 2 years, but we have to manage. We have to invent an alternative and also attractive things that would make people like to come.
Okay, good. So there is the history, the community base there, but it's also needing to adapt your model to attract new people and new business in the meantime. Because that's actually Princess's question is if there's a history that can attract tourism. So it sounds like there very much is a kind of a deep cultural history there that would be attractive to some people.
Yeah. Sumba, for some people connected Sumba with Savannah Steva, green field. That's we call it. Do you know Savannah, right? I mean, yeah, a huge, vast, green field. Many people, and also a beautiful scenery. So many people, aside from that cultural thing, the natural side, the natural resources of Sumba is also attraction for people to come. And also there is like a traditional activity. Okay, Jen?
Yeah, my question for you, I guess I was thinking, since you said it was an island, I know you said there's an airport. Do people arrive by boat?
No.
Is it just by plane?
For tourists, they are coming. They are all, not most of. If it is not most of them, they are coming by plane.
By plane. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Imas, and then Amelia.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Ning. We know for attract local and domestic tourists, there's very expensive. Yeah, we know the flight from Jakarta to Sumba and the flight from Jakarta to Hong Kong or to Japan, it's more cheaper. From Jakarta to Hong Kong or to Japan, more cheaper than from Jakarta to Sumba. That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. One problem if our infrastructure still not good to Sumba. And then for millennial, I think they want to get cheaper than the rich people. So that's still a problem. What I know, what I want to know is that's what you hope from the local government, how to make this tourism area will be more easy to get local people or domestic people.
So okay, thank you, Mbak, thank you, Imas. So what we hope from local government, in local government in the district government, I'm not sure they would like to promote. Would like to promote. I think what we expect, it is like a cooperation among the government in this 4 districts in the island, because the island consists of 4 districts, and then they are all together in one term promoting Sumba, because the government of Indonesia on last 2016-17, they are promoting new Bali, 10 new Bali, and then they revise it into 4 new Bali. This is like a 4 new travel destination that the government of Indonesia would like to explore more, to promote more. And Sumba doesn't belong to that 10 new Bali or 4 new Bali, but what we can do is like we work together. So like as Jen said, so we are not competing inside the island. It's best, so Sumba becoming more attractive because it is the whole package from. So if you are traveling from East, so so basically, Mbak Imas, under the situation, we cannot expect a lot government to do on the tourism. At least the 4 district government, they cooperate for tourism development.
So meaning the government, you can't rely on the government to help promote tourism there, but maybe with partnering with the other organizations on the island, the other tourism, there's a relationship there that might help strengthen.
Sure.
Great. Okay, Amelia?
Yeah, Mbak Ning. Actually, on December, I just signing the memorandum of understanding with the region of Southwest Sumba, Sumba Barat Daya. We have cooperation to community development in Sumba together with Medco Energy and Medco Foundation. Also, we will work with one of university in Sumba Barat Daya. And then we still keep in touch. They have come to our office for 5 times to discuss. Also, we went to Southwest Sumba, and I think that the government is very. They really hope that tourism become the leader, because you know that infrastructure in Sumba is not good. Even when Jokowi become a president, this is going better now. From Bali, yes, you said that we need a plane, and I think Mbak Ima said that it's very expensive to go to Sumba. Is yes, exactly right, but. And the governor said that Sumba only for the rich people, because very, very expensive for it, for everything's so expensive, right? But after Labuan Bajo become as you said that 10 place after the Bali and Borobudur, Sumba going better now. From the education, from the infrastructure, but the thing that I thought that very bad in the culture, because you know in the culture and the climate, because Sumba is very, very hot. People in Sumba always work at 6 until 9, and then the woman getting at home and doing something from home, because they need water, they have many sunshine, but no one explore them. And the region said that they need investor to new renewable energy from the solar cell. That's why we set up the agrovoltaic using the solar cell and in the ground for the agriculture. But because of COVID, we should stop this program. We cannot go to Sumba. Last week, I have discussed with my other organization, because I also board of Carpenter. Carpenter is culture, art and adventure. This is an organization in tourism, because I have passionate in tourism too. And we have this something different, something I think is maybe the new of tourism, because conventional tourism like now become a loser business. Tourism is loser business during the COVID. And from the Pajajaran University in Bandung, they create virtual tourism. Virtual tourism that you pay 25,000, I think, and you can enjoy your tourism. You can choose the Sumba or Borobudur or Yogyakarta or Bali, and you enjoy the virtual tourism. I think it's maybe you can join with this group to become to set up the virtual tourism of Sumba, because if you looking for in Instagram, it's very many information about Sumba, and in the other side that food in Sumba is very good too. Even in agriculture product is very good in Sumba. I think that most of organic product in Indonesia like cafe, cashew, chocolate is from Sumba, and you can mix agriculture and tourism using the virtual, because I'm agree with Tia. At the end of the year, maybe tourism is still going down. It's very hard to become increase again, because we have a protocol of health, protocol how to you go to other island. It's very difficult now to go outside. And as you said, that Jakarta is the pocket money. Everyone is go to Sumba, go to Bali, but 70% money in Jakarta. And I think we should that we try the virtual tourism. You should using the live Instagram, using live YouTube to promote the Sumba Island. The clothes is very good and very expensive too. As we know, it's very expensive. And Sumba is very expensive.
So let me just summarize, Amelia, because it sounds like we're starting to move into recommendations. But I heard
recommendation.
One thing to know is that it sounds like Sumba is very expensive. Expensive to get to, expensive to eat there. So attracting tourism might be a challenge. I also heard that it's very hot. Princess, that was one of her questions about the weather conditions. But there's an opportunity for solar energy, which you're involved in there, Amelia, although it's been put on hold because of COVID. And so 2 recommendations that you started to mention were partnering with the university who's doing some virtual tourism, where people are paying to take a virtual tour of parts of the country, and Sumba is there. And then also the potential for agro-tourism, and maybe incorporating agriculture into the tourism, or as a transition until you can get back into full tourism. Are those the big points, Amelia?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then let's see. I just want to make sure I'm capturing.
Okay, Jen,
Julia says,
can I respond on that?
Sure,
okay.
sure.
Yeah, sure. So first, on the statement from the head of the district, Southwest Sumba district, I know he realized that he really want investor to come to Southwest Sumba, and he also realized that he is fully aware that tourism is also the one that can bring more money to Sumba. But the way I mentioned before, that I just want that the government in four district in Sumba to cooperate more. It is because looking on the internal Southwest Sumba situation. Now I'm talking on Southwest Sumba only, not the whole Sumba. Electricity still rare.
Yeah, there is.
That's why I still you're right, but infrastructure and also the water, and also if you go more deeper on the health of maternal and child health, that also difficult, and also on the education. That's why we, as an independent organization, we would like to do our work more independently, not heavily depend on the government. So let's say the government can help us, can promote us, can endorse us, but we expect government to address the other issue more seriously, because that's actually. And then the road is already pretty well, but water, electricity, and even also the communication for the it is also still the backbone of the communication is also there. So actually, and also addressing about how expensive it is. It for me to defend this. Probably you're coming to Sumba through a travel agent that really solid. I mean,
so, Harding, can I ask you a question? I want to get to some of the recommendations here too. How was the tourism before COVID? It sounds like there were a lot of challenges even before COVID with the expense and the infrastructure. So was it already were things going well before COVID, or were these challenges?
Yeah, things before COVID is so promising, Jen. So promising.
Okay.
It's really so promising. Yeah. So people, once they go to Bali, they are aiming to far more distant places, and Sumba is one of them. And I belong to a group that managing a package of tourism. I think I can say that if talking about expensive, we are competitive enough compared to other tourism destination in Indonesia far away from Jakarta. So going to that place, to other place is also expensive. But yeah, coming to Sumba is also expensive. But if you are coming to the right agent, to the right travel organization, you can have a good price of the money. You can get a value of your money. But I would like very much working on that. So the image that Sumba is expensive is not completely true.
Yeah, so that seems to be from others in Indonesia. The comments in the chat are also that, you know, people can now buy the textiles online, and so there isn't a need to travel there. And I just keep seeing the expense come up. So maybe this is a good point to know that, you know, there's a perception of being expensive. If you know something different, then that might be something that needs to be worked on. Or if it really is expensive, then that's another barrier to work on. So let's keep that in mind. And I don't want to miss this. Jacqueline, this sounds like a recommendation. She's asking, is it possible to transit to a health resort? Anything with a health component will always attract people. So she said that sounds like it's a suggestion that maybe some part of tourism to consider is incorporating a health spa or resort.
Yeah, sure, Jen. So that's why in one of the data that I mentioned on my presentation, it is like culinary trip. And also culinary trip. It is also actually wellness, because the natural resources in Sumba is very good. It is like it's a very good place for spa and wellness tourism.
Perfect. So I wonder if post-COVID, there's a way to expand on that wellness and focus on how you're keeping people safe and healthy, and maybe the emotional and mental support after being, you know, going through this pandemic. Maybe there's an element there to build on. Let's open it up to other recommendations. And if you have a question, you can weave it into your recommendation. But I want to be sure we get time we have a few more minutes to go towards recommendations. Anyone?
Jen, on one thing about buying clothing online, everything now you can buy it online. But the experience going to Sumba, you can have it online. I mean, there is a virtual tour, but going there, knowing the people, the hardship, as well as the good scene, it's different. Yeah, I know everything we can have it online right now. But
it's hard. I think we all want. I think after all of this, people are going to crave those experiences, and maybe business will be better than ever, right? Because people will invest in those things, but it might be a few years. So you know, how can you stay relevant and have, you know, revenue streams in the meantime, so that when that time comes, you're ready. Sue, and then I'll go to Amelia.
Thanks, Jen. We've been watching here in my house the virtual safaris that are being offered out of South Africa. So it's not a video that was produced, it's in real time that they're keeping people engaged in the safari industry and the tourist industry by constantly doing these virtual safaris. So rather than just videos that sit there and never change, trying to do something more in real time where people are exposed to the cultural and the historical elements. Obviously, people aren't going to spend money to go there to buy fabrics. They're going there for the cultural and rich history and experience. So just to entice them with day-to-day or week-to-week updates might be something that sticks in their mind when it is time to travel.
You know what it made me think of, Sue? There's a kind of a little trend happening around here is some of the farms are, you can rent a llama to come to your Zoom meeting. I don't know if you've seen these in your countries, but it's a way for farms to be getting revenue, but it's that experience that Sue was talking about, that you're there with the camera and you're going and you're seeing the animals live and in a way interacting with them. This is different, but I wonder if there's some way to create these short live experiences that people log into a lesson on how to weave or something like that, or a cooking lesson, because you said the culinary, something like that.
And just to add to that quickly, because the leader of the organization is a priest, looking at ways to tap into, he's a Catholic priest, is that correct?
Yeah, Catholic priest.
Looking at ways to tap into the Catholic community around the world, either through one of their websites or something special that they may be doing for their for parishioners during COVID, so that that element that draws in that this is a priest, this is under the rubric of a church, could keep that audience engaged again for when things open up. So just kind of tapping into that specific audience.
Yeah, even in my organization, one of the staff right now is doing volunteer in German. So he's like building more connection with people there, and also with the tourism agency there.
That's great. There's a recommendation in here from Princess to partner with hotels and travel agencies because they give discounted rates. And I think in particular where you said, if you know the right travel agent, so maybe there's a stronger partnership there that can help with the perception and the reality of the expense.
Yeah. We already make that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Amelia, did you have something?
Yeah, as we know that in Sumba, Southeast Sumba have a seven program in electricity, water, food security, also health, smart and education, also ecotourism. This is the program of the new region in Sumba, in Southwest Sumba, and I think that you can collaboration with one of the program, like I said that. Maybe you can collaboration with agriculture, but it's you should switching your business model, because even you have value in ecotourism, but now the situation is become different, and it's not mean that you sell the poverty, because Sumba is the very poorest region in the Sumba Island, right? Southwest Sumba is the poorest district in, not the poorest region in Sumba. It's very, very bad in health, like you said, in education. And you take one, maybe in health or in water, maybe it's expensive investment. But if you have a program in food security or in education, and then you collaboration with the tourism, you can collaboration with one of organization in Australia, because Australia have attention, highly attention in Sumba. I don't know why, because we don't have any experience in education program, but Australia give us the offering to help us doing something education in Sumba. We don't have experience, and you know that in Indonesia we should have we should have the law to do education. But if you have informal education to increase the skill of women, to increase the skill of children, you can have maybe you get a support from other organization, but you should a little switch your value, become tourism and education, or maybe tourism and agriculture, something like that.
Amelia, I have a clarifying question in that. You said Australia is interested in the region. Do you mean the government of Australia has many projects there, or just many organizations are interested?
Not only government, because university in Australia also contact us to have some education program in Sumba.
Okay.
But because we don't have any experience in informal education, we cannot cooperation with them. But maybe you can have in informal education. we have specialized in agriculture and community development.
So the recommendation there is to really look at partnerships and maybe expanding your business model to still be tourism, but go into maybe agriculture or education or supporting women, some other way that will allow you to pivot a bit and create a new revenue stream during this period, but still stay to your tourism and culture mission.
Jen, just to address what Emilia said, actually, Emil, all of that you said, we already do it. so we already do it. I mean, if you go to our place, there are 3 big Sumba house. In one of the houses, we have a children class. So we teach children A, I, U, E, O. So they are singing there. It is basically because it is an organization under a church. The church never close their eyes looking at the poverty in the neighbor. So we make a special class for the children. And when I asked what curriculum do you use to educate the children, they said there is a Reach Jakarta that they developing curriculum for their own school. So they asked our organization to send people. Okay, you send people to learn here in Jakarta, and then you can make your own school in Sumba. So basically on education, we do it. For women, we have more than 150 women that doing hand woven. And for the ecotourism, this is basically a network for the agriculture product. We receive their product and everybody trying, Father, please sell our product to people in Jakarta. And I mean, things like that, we already doing it. It is only now how we can survive through this challenging time and be better after this post-COVID. That's then.
Great. And then EMAS has a recommendation that given the lack of electricity and water and communication, just how rural it is, that maybe attracting millennials as like adventure tourism. So promoting it as being that experience of being more rustic or adventure. And then Neela says, I think we support more on communities' livelihood in their current business, mostly as farmers, as tourism in their additional income. It can be agriculture sector, health issues, education issues. So again, it sounds like incorporating some of these other issues that maybe can be a unique offering of the tourism. I think we only have a couple more minutes on this. Wow, it's really challenging to think about tourism in this current moment. Yeah. And these are all really great ideas on post-COVID, which is your question too. And then, you know, if this does last 2 years, what can you be doing in between to build up and get ready for that, but also stay alive as an organization? And keep it. How big is your staffing, Haring?
We have paid salary 14, but more or less the organization carry responsible for like 30 people, because some people they come to the father, let me clean your house, and then things like that. But 14 people under the regular salary check, but sometimes it can go until 30 people.
14 and then up to 30 people. And then are you concerned about, I know you said you had a lot of wealthy donors. Are you able to sustain yourself if this does last, 2 years until you can come back to tourism? Or are you looking to, is it more urgent than that for you?
Actually, for us, we don't want to see 2 years as a set stone. Okay, 2 years is a worst scenario. We expect December people already want to come, but that's so. I think that's a crazy dream. But we expect some people already want to come to Sumba celebrating Christmas in our house. Things like that. That's so basically 6 months from right now. And when I talk with Father Robert, yes, the donor said, Father, anytime you wish you wish us to help you, just tell us. But we would like very much to be independent on that. But yeah, and the things, Jens, this is what happened in the village. People can survive in the food, in terms of food in Sumba, though there is a lot of case of poverty, but food resources is there, so we can have food that can sustain us until the last of this year.
Yeah.
But it is only the cash that is not available right now. But if people want to go to have food, we have rice, we have vegetable, and we can go to school. We don't the parents doesn't have to pay to the school during this situation. But the cash is always a challenge. But for the donors, they will always ready to help my organization, but as much as possible, because looking also at the character of the organization under the Catholic Church, so people trust of the organization, and during this 2 until 5 people already like asking permission to go home. Father, allow me to go home first because there is no customer coming. But when the customer is already coming again, we will come. We would like to come back. So basically, we don't pay right to them right now, and now they're just in their villages, working for their home, for their family. But then, because it is like the relationship is between people to the church and to the organization under. So it's kind of flexible, but it's also a challenge.
So you're fortunate to have that security of you'd have possibly the money there, but you'd rather not rely on it, and you need to come up with different ideas. Sue, did you have something?
Yeah, I think it's important for all of us to remember that these projections are just that. Nobody knows when things will get back to semi-normal. Nobody knows when people will just get so frustrated. They say, I don't care, I need to go to Zumba, I need to go to Bali. I mean, we just don't know. So Ning, the fact that you want to prepare is really important. And I just encourage all of you to start doing the same thing. It could be December for all we know. If somebody finds a vaccine or a cure, we just don't know. So yes, we should realize worst case scenarios, but we should also plan for best case scenarios. We need to plan for both.
Yeah.
But I think, Ning, in that spirit, one of the things that people will be looking for if they decide they want to travel come December and there's still not a cure or a vaccine, they're going to want to know that whatever facilities you have are COVID-19 ready. That you're seriously, when I think of the stores, the grocery stores I go to, they're the stores that have the lanes marked. They're the stores that count the number of people. They're the stores that sanitize the wagons. Those messages, getting those out now and preparing to get those messages out so people feel like if they do need to take a trip, they're going to go someplace where they know it's sanitary, people are using gloves, people are using masks, whatever it takes, that reassurance. The fact I think that it's a church is an added value, particularly because people have a very, very spiritual connection. But the practical health-related precautions that you can take to reassure people, get those set up now so that when things start to open up a little, you're ready to go with those messages. I think it's important.
I like that, Sue. And it actually made me think of, I'll just throw in one more recommendation before we move on. It made me think of many years ago, I traveled to India and I wanted a cultural experience. I didn't want to just stay at hotels, and I wanted to know what it was like to live with a family and those kind of things. So throughout my trip, the travel agent arranged for me to do these like homestays with families who had been trained how to cook for guests, to keep it sanitary and safe. And I'd be able to kind of rent a room in the home and get to know the family a little bit. So it made me think about if your audience is primarily wealthier people who can afford to come to Sumba, perhaps when all of this is over, offering like unique boutique experiences where you're not staying at a big, hotel or resort with a lot of people, but you get to have this one-on-one cultural experience weavers who have been trained on COVID ready, being COVID prepared, and maybe staying in a facility that is prepared, but you're going in a small group or with just your family or your partner. That might be attractive, and someone might be willing to pay for it because they may be feeling ready to travel. Yeah,
Jen, agree. I mean, we have, as Sue said, we have to prepare on that protocol, hygiene and safety protocol. We really have to prepare that.
I was watching the news last night. They were talking about the different airlines, and how each one is sending out a message right now about what they're doing to make it safe to travel. And some are coming up with no one sits in the middle seat, or they aren't gonna, they're gonna provide masks for everybody. They're all coming up with their way to stand out as being the safest airline to travel on. And they're starting now, even though travel is down. So that, Great. Well, we are at our time, and I want to make sure we have plenty of time for our presentation. So again, we'll review this case again on Thursday, Haraning, and hopefully come up with some more ideas for you. But always, people are welcome to log into both calls or send you some further thoughts as well. I want to transition to our guest presenter, and I'll let Daniela introduce herself in more detail, but Daniela is a certified social and emotional intelligence coach and has presented for us before. As she mentioned, she's a GWIM alum, GWIM 60, and when we were putting together this schedule of topics, we wanted to invite Donna to come back and talk a little bit about supporting staff through all of this. Many of you have teams that are as stressed as you are, and so she's going to share some of her insights with us on how best to do that. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Daniela, and I did give you sharing permission, so you should be able to pull up your PowerPoint.
Thank you, Jen. Hello, everyone, again. For the beginning, Jen, you said that you would like to start with a poll. Would you like to
yes.
set the poll now, please?
Yes, I would. And let me see, I made it yesterday, but shoot. I need just a minute. Sorry, it didn't work.
Okay.
I have it. So go ahead. If you want to introduce yourself, it'll take me 2 seconds. Is this the equipped question?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay, let me just do that really quick. Sorry.
Okay.
This is I should have tested this. Oops.
Shall I stop sharing my screen?
No, I'm coming right now. Sorry, last one. I apologize, everyone. That is my fault. And okay. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay. So how equipped do you think you are to manage the emotions of your team right now? You feel very equipped, neutral, or you don't know, somewhat equipped, or not at all equipped?
I was surprised there is a poll in the beginning of this stand. I thought the poll is at the end.
Oh, well, there may be again. You will have to wait and see.
Okay.
So how are you feeling right now, though, Haraning? That's a good point, though. At this moment, given the emotions of your team, how equipped do you feel?
Technically, I
just
don't
answer
have
the poll, Haraning. You can just...
Okay. I already feel it.
Okay, good. get a few more people to come in. All right. I think we'll end the poll there. We've got not everybody, but some. So it looks like 42% say they feel somewhat equipped, or equipped, I mean. And then behind that is neutral or I don't know. A couple of people said not equipped at all, and just one person said they felt very equipped.
Good, very nice. I hope that even for the person who said that it's very equipped, we will have some fresh insights. But first, I would like to start with a breathing exercise because we are so focused. We'll talk more about our mind, but it's so nice and so useful to take some time, even during the day and during our tasks, to just take some deep breathing. And this helps us very much to calm down, to relax, to be present, and to make better decisions. So if you are not at all familiar with breathing exercise, the ones that help us very much to relax are the ones that are abdominal. So if we put hand on our chest and on the other one on our abdomen, it's very relaxing when our deep the breath is so deep that we can raise up the hand on our abdomen. So just try staying in a relaxed position to move with your air in your belly, to move the hand on your abdomen. And you can do it 1, 2, 3, 5. Keep it 1, 2, 3, 5, and after that, breathe out. So breathe in, keep it, and breathe out. And just focus only on your respiration, on your breathing. You can hear it, but focus only on breathing. And when you are doing this exercise by yourself, even though thoughts might come, just very nicely let them go and focus again on the respiration, on your breathing. These exercises are also very helpful for people treated for post-traumatic stress disorder. So we try to, like I said, to focus so much on our minds and overestimate the power of our minds, and thoughts, but sometimes there are very simple things that we can make in order to feel better and to act better. I want to give you only a few seconds to think about these two circles. In the interior circle, we have the things that we have control over, and please think about what are these things, the things that now you have control over, and the exterior circle, things that you don't have control over. Just a few seconds to think about, and please, if only one person would like to share about what she thinks is in interior circle and in exterior. Tilma, my dear colleague from Indonesia, was very nice to say something when Sue presented her webinar, but so beside her, who already made her homework, if somebody else would like to share what is in your interior circle and what is in your exterior circle.
I have something. Can I share?
Yes, Jen, please.
I think in my interior circle, I can control how if I move every day, like doing physical activity or doing things that, you know, relieve my stress in that way. And then in my exterior circle, I cannot control this pandemic and the spread that it has.
Nice, very nice. And if you think about you and others, like the team, what you will say that it's in exterior circle? Yeah, for sure. Nobody can control this pandemic, even though we will want to solve it quickly.
Yeah. So I guess exterior for me, things that are out of my control is let's see, when it's hard because there are things within, okay, so out exterior, I can't control whether donors want to give to our cause.
Yes.
But within my control is I can look for opportunities for us, look to find donors that might be interested, but I can't control if they are interested. Does that make sense?
Yes, exactly. We can control our actions, but we cannot control others' actions.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Jen, for sharing.
Looks like Sue has one. If you wanted to do a second.
Yeah. I can control my own emotions and my own stress levels, but I can't control other people's positivity or negativity. And so I have to try to not let that influence me because I have no control over other people's reactions.
Yes, great. Thank you, Sue. And thank you for sharing this, because people in general working with individual clients, they will say that they don't have control over their emotions. So I'm so glad that you you know that you have control over your emotions. Is true. We cannot control. We can control our emotions. And I put here some insights. So we do have control over our thoughts, feelings, and actions. And what is very interesting is that when we focus more on these things, this interior circle actually will become bigger. So it will expand. And when we control on things that are in the exterior circle, what other things, what other do or feel, actually we make our interior circle very small, because we focus and we spend time and energy on things that we cannot control, and then we don't have time and energy to focus on our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. And I want to say this, that is, as Jen said, I am a coach, and this is something very powerful that is kind of an axiom in coaching, that people are resourceful, creative, and whole. We are resourceful, creative, and whole, and our team members are the same. And as I said, we do have control over our own emotions. And it's very interesting with this pandemic that maybe until now people didn't think so much, didn't talk so much about emotions in an organizational context, but now it's impossible to not talk about emotions. And there are some research who actually shows that organizations, those workers feel safe and comfortable enough to express their feelings, are more productive and creative. For sure, when we are on the other extreme, when we let emotions lead the team, then people are less productive. And the question is, how can we show that we care about people in our team and about their concern, and in the same time to not let emotions lead the team. And for sure, the answer is, how we can do this is by being emotionally intelligent. And I want to remind, maybe for a lot of you who already know about emotional intelligence, because we are JUIM alumni, that it's the ability to be aware of our own emotions and those of others in the moment, and to use that information to manage ourselves and manage our relationships. This is the definition by the Institute of Social and Emotional Intelligence. And so the conclusion is that emotions are valuable source of information, and we should not be afraid of emotions, either ours or others.
It will start video.
So what kind? Am I stuck? Am I okay, Jen?
Yes, somebody was unmuted. It's okay. Go ahead.
So emotions gives us information about how we or others interpret a situation, an event, and also they can tell us what are the needs that are unmet. Sorry. So we will know what to do. And I like to think about emotions like this, that they are allowed to exist, to come with us, but we choose what to do according to our values, either in an organizational context or as individuals. So fear, as I will say later, grief, it's allowed to come, but when we choose what to do, we choose according to our values. A little bit more about emotions, because if we understand something, then we feel more in control and we know what to do. Emotion, it's defined like a motivated state marked by physiological arousal, expressive behavior, and mental experience. So we have these three things. We have a thought, something in our mind, we have something in our body, and we have a behavior. And in general, we have this reaction to a situation that is appreciated as threatening, these emotions, immediately in our body, and according with our personality or our experiences in life, we either fight, flight, or freeze. But being emotionally intelligent involves to respond, not to react. And I like very much this quote by Viktor Frankl, who was a psychiatrist survival of 4 concentration camps, including Auschwitz, who said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. And I also want to make this distinction between feelings and emotions. When we talk about emotions, we talk about anger, fear, sadness, or embarrassment. And these are shorter than feelings. When we talk about feelings, we talk about love, hate, grief, and these are longer in their length and can be with us even lifetime. And another interesting aspect is that emotions are contagious. So yeah, leaders can be contagious with their enthusiasm, with their calm, and also with their fear and anxiety. And maybe for you who are mothers, you know very well how easily you can transmit and you can sense in your children the emotions that you are feeling. So yeah, it's obvious maybe for mothers that emotions are contagious. I like very much the way that cognitive behavioral therapy explain emotions, because people in general think that the order is this: an event or a situation occurs, and they think that situation, that event will make them feel in a certain way. But actually there is something between A and C, between event and emotion, and this is the way we interpret the event or the situation. And this will also say that we have power to change the way we feel, because we can change the interpretation, or we can add another perspective to our interpretation. And after that, like I said, it's a behavior part. In any emotion, we either take an action, or sometimes because we are so afraid, we might not take any action. And I also want to make us be more aware about the connection between body, mind, spirit, and emotions. Because, yeah, in psychotherapy, for example, this part of changing thoughts is very much emphasized. But this was one of the reasons I wanted to start with a breathing exercise. Sometimes we can make something very simple, like breathing, or maybe you remember Jen with her power postures from our training. Yeah. Actually, let me ask you, from when was the last time when you did a power posture? It was a long time ago, or would you actually please just want to take a power posture now, or just maybe not power, but to change your body position in a way that makes you feel better, or feel with that state that you, emotional state that you actually need it now? Only a few seconds, yeah? What do you think? Am I right? Does the power, does the body posture have a power over our emotions? Did you sense any change in your emotions just for doing? Jen is clapping, thank you. Yeah, we do have power by, yeah, over our emotions, even by doing something very simple. I encourage you to check more within yourself. How are you feeling? What do you need? And to just do something. Talking about doing something, also shaking arms and body. There are some researches in the military field that, yeah, shaking arms and body help us to reduce stress. So another very simple, only few minutes exercise that can help us to change our emotions. And also Sue also mentioned something about spirituality, and I also put this here: when you are connected with God or universal force or love, however it's your spiritual source, or just with life meaning, we change our emotions and feelings. Now, how can we really manage emotions in our team? And I thought about three easy points, easy to remember. First, to manage your own emotions and to be the role model of emotional balance as a leader, to create a positive organizational affect climate, and to be confident that you can manage emotions in your team. The first step, manage your own emotions and keep calm. We heard a lot about keep calm, but maybe you were wondering, yeah, it sounds so easy to say it, but how to keep calm? First, practice self-care. And I heard from Jan, we didn't talk too much, that it will be a speaker talking about self-care, so I won't go too much into this. I hope you will have a lot of insights soon. But you can look at this list. But I wanted to say about hugging yourself, also talking about very simple things that we can make to change emotions. There is a study who showed that brain actually doesn't know if somebody else is offering us a hug or we are offering a hug. So just hug yourself. And during this lockdown, where we are not allowed to be so close to others, it will make your brain feel better. So give yourself a hug. As I said, deep breathing exercises, and also I also thought about this in the last period of time, when we're so much in a hurry to get things done, and to not stop, because sometimes we finish our work, our task, and we are so depleted, while we can just stop during our task and, yeah, take few deep breaths. And in this case, we will have more focus, we'll be more productive, and at the end of the day, when the tasks are done from our to-do list, we still have energy. So please pause during your work day. Another very interesting tip that I heard about is to not check the phone or email in the first hour in the morning, because this makes our brain to be in a reactive mode, and what we actually want is our brain to be in a proactive mode, to be creative, to think about ways we can like the case presented, we want to think ahead and to be creative, not to just react to events or things that are happening to us. And also don't check the phone or email 1 hour before going to sleep, because you cannot rest so well. You still think of maybe other things that you want to do. It's very important to label emotions and to acknowledge them with courage. And I also put self-compassion. We are allowed to feel what we feel, so be kind to yourself too. And also with responsibility. Yeah, like I said, we are also in charge, and we can choose to change our thoughts, so we can change emotions, or to change our body posture. We can change the perspective, or to add another perspective. We can think about our resources. Also, yeah, the brain will go in this fear and anxiety if we don't think of resources and solutions that we have. So if we let ourselves be overwhelmed by fear, this can happen. But if we can just be present in the present by doing some breathing exercise, stop and think, okay, in this, if this, you like this talk earlier, this scenario will happen, what solutions do I have and what resources do I have? And then we won't go into fear and anxiety, because the brain knows that there are solutions and there are resources. And for sure, ask for specific support, and you know so well how to do this together here, which is very nice. The second step, to create a positive organizational affect climate. And one very important thing that we can do in difficult times, but also in good times, and what I found very interesting in coaching is to be so much in contact with our vision and with our values. This is so inspiring, so motivational, gives us a lot of energy and even enthusiasm, because we want, we have a vision. We have a vision for our life. We have a vision for our organization. We have a vision for our beneficiaries, even for our donors. And this is what helps us and motivate us. We hear so much people talking today about not being so motivated. And I think the vision is a very motivator factor. And yeah, it's like an anchor in these hard times. And also to remember our values. It's also another thing that gives us positive energy to know that we, as individuals or as organizations, we live honoring our values, gives us energy, enthusiasm, and a lot of positive emotions. It's also nice to remind our team members about their resources, because yeah, sometimes, especially when there are crises or even new beginnings, we are so aware about our limitations, and it's very nice to remind ourselves and to remind others about their resources. And here I thought about a very simple exercise. I remember that during another call, it was a lady, a colleague, who said that they are doing now even daily meetings, and it's very nice to ask people, for example, what do they bring to the meeting? Just ask to say what is one resources that they are very aware of and they are bringing to that meeting. Gives us a lot of positive energy and also awareness that there is so much power in our teams. To keep everyone informed, but I know that there was a lot of insight about this in the previous calls. To let people know that it's safe to talk about their emotions and feelings, and also to show that you believe in people's potential to deal with the situation. And also Sue said something about like to trust people. If we give them a task, to just trust that they will do it. The third step, to be confident that you can manage emotions in your team. So after managing our own emotions and being a role model, creating a positive organizational climate, and when emotions are there, people are talking about, just be confident, knowing much more about them, be confident that you can manage them. By reminding yourself and your team that emotions are allowed to come with us, like as I said, but they're not allowed to make decisions. And I like this quote by David Kessler, who said, "Let yourself feel the grief and keep going." It's very interesting. He's a researcher in grief. He also had a very interesting idea that we are all now in a grief process with this pandemic, but I really like this encouragement to let yourself feel the grief and keep going. Try to understand what the team members is feeling, and we can do this by listening without interruption, to ask for clarification and to express empathy, because people can feel truly hurt, and they understand. When people feel truly hurt and they understand we care about them, sometimes they can find their own solutions. People just need to talk, also to label their emotions, and don't feel the pressure that you as a leader have to find solution for them or to say of very powerful words of encouragement. Just to be there to listen and to tell them that you understand them or you care about them. Sometimes we don't understand. So I was a psychological counselor for many years, and I was always aware to not say that I understand, because we cannot really understand. We can put we try to understand people cognitively and emotionally, but because people have different backgrounds, different life experience, we cannot really understand everything about them and their emotions and their person. But say that you care and you are there. They are not alone. You are there to support and to succeed together. Also, it's very important to try to determine what does this person need, and is that a legitimate need I can meet? Because yeah, sometimes as leaders, we can feel a pressure that there are a lot of needs there, but the same like in the first lesson in economy is that needs are unlimited, resources are limited, and as I said, we cannot meet all the needs. We cannot be everything for everyone. And it's important to ask ourselves, is something that I can do about, it's something I can meet, or as I said, people can find solutions in themselves or in other sources. We are just there to care for them. And we are not the psychotherapists. We are just the leaders who inspire and say that we care. As I said, we don't offer advices, and it's better to brainstorm solution, to just say, okay, what are the things that you need or can be done here, and it's proper to make an agreement about the next steps or the proper behavior. Conclusions. You have incredible power. You are resourceful, creative, and whole, and the team members are the same. You do have control over your emotions, thoughts, and actions. You do not have control over others' emotions, but you can create a positive organizational affect climate, and you can show people you care about them and help them by listening and acknowledging their feelings. And you can choose, and you can help others choose to act according to vision and values. And I want to say another quote by Viktor Frankl. As I said, a person who is a survivor of 4 concentration camps, I think, has a lot of power to say a lot of things. And he also said, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose his own attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful, and I'm here to listen questions, and I hope I can answer them. You have my contact info here if you want to talk more, or to if you have another kind of questions that you want to ask.
Great. Thank you, Daniela. Let me see. I've got 2 screens going on here. I want to do a hand clap for you. This is great. So just want to acknowledge we are over time, which is fine, but I just want to let, in case anyone has to go. But Daniela, are you able to stay on a few minutes if people have questions? Perfect. Okay. So those of you who need to go, let's do a round of applause for Daniela.
Thank you.
The round of applause there. This was really great. I feel calmer already.
Oh yeah, actually we wanted to ask this at the end.
Oh yes.
If people who said that they didn't feel very equipped at the beginning, can you vote again, please?
We'll redo the poll here. How are you feeling now? Do you feel equipped to manage the emotions in your team? And you can go ahead and take the poll. We're seeing some movement here. Ooh, a lot more equipped. This is great. Great. I think this is about the same number of responses we had before. So I'll end the polling and share the results. We've had a shift. Good.
Oh, nice.
People are feeling equipped and very equipped. That's great. Wonderful. So before I open it up for questions or comments for Daniela, I just want to say for those of you that need to go next week, we're going to do a little bit of a different format. Building on today's topic from Haraning, we're going to allow some space for everyone to be thinking about what to do post-COVID. So we won't have a case to present, but we will be asking you all to share. We'll do a kind of interactive session. So be thinking about your organization and what your needs are and what you're thinking of post-COVID. And we're gonna talk about that next week in our topics on both Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, so now let's open it up. Anyone have any questions or comments to Daniela that they'd like to ask? Haraning? There you go.
Yeah. Can I go now? I mean,
yes, please.
Daniela, I want to give you a clap icon, but I cannot do it. I don't know how people do it in your screen. I'm going to type it in the chat. But Daniela, my comment is that between emotion and feeling, I would like to stress, especially on this COVID situation, our self-discipline. It is very, for me, it's very important. Self-discipline in terms of the way we want to manage our time, because now time is basically our rich resources. We have our own time at home. We don't have to commute. We have all the time in the world right now. But then the challenge is the discipline, the self-discipline. First is how we manage our time, and then how we can become more productive. I will see the stay at home, work from home as a positive side. I'm very optimistic on that side. So self-discipline is challenging. Basically, that's my highlight. In between the emotion that you are exploring, it is the self-discipline in this COVID in this time.
Yeah, self-discipline in COVID when you're in this space all the time. That the challenge of that in terms of managing your emotions as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Any thoughts on that,
it's
Daniela?
true. Yeah, I also realized talking with people that some of them just find excuses in this pandemic, just like you said, to be less productive or things like this. It's like, yeah, we have an excuse to not do a lot of things. On the other hand, like I said, we need to be balanced between this productivity and getting done and just stop a little bit. Yeah. So balance is always the key.
Yeah, I know when this all started, there were all these, posts and people were saying how creative they were going to be and they were going to, start a new hobby and do all these things. And then not recognizing the emotional burden that we're bearing and the stress of being in a pandemic. And so being gentle with yourself. It's a hard balance. Yeah. Rita, did you have something, hon?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, this Rita.
Hi, Rita.
I'm so, Mandela, well done. Your message was well thought. I have learned from the emotion training, because we used to have a woman in our team that you cannot manage her emotion. Even when there's issue, you try to like calm her down, bring her, let's sit down and talk. She will shout over on top of everybody's voice. She wants to say it all. She's not ready to listen to another. At the end, become problem. So with this situation, people in the team keep away from her. Nobody wants to relate with her. So with what you have said, have really calmed me right inside me, because I can manage my own emotion. When I'm hungry, when I'm not feeling good, I know I can manage myself, but I cannot manage others. But with these lectures now, I have really, accepted it, injected it into my bloodstream. I know I can work with even the madman, the mad woman on the street. But if you can manage other people's emotion, why not? You can work with anybody. But before this time, I used to like keep away from that particular woman in our team, because she's not ready to listen, like what you said, that they might be different orientation, different background, could make one behave the way it's behaving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
we
God
all
on
know.
your
I
side,
think we all met at one certain in our professional life, people like this. Yeah.
Yes. But with God on our side, when it comes, maybe it's a attitude that is in somebody as inborn, you go to God, you pray, and let God manage your emotion. You know you overcome that emotion, you overcome that problem. But most of us, we don't know that. It's at any time you feel bad, you spread it out to others. So I thank you for this this training. You've really sent a message. And I also want to relate with you one-on-one. At a time like this, when it comes up, I know where to follow. Thanks so much.
Welcome, and thank you for your feedback. Yes. yeah, preparing for this, I also remember how once in our team, so I was the leader of the team and also the psychological counselor. And I remember that in our team, it was a lady that always during the lunchtime, which for me, lunchtime, it's to relax, to enjoy food, to savor food. It's another way to be present. But she was always talking about the same problems in her family. And I realized that I was more exhausted of hearing her daily during the lunchtime talking about the same problems, and like you said, not really wanting to change the situation. So I was more tired of her talking that working with my clients. So yeah, we have to be aware that some people don't want to change, and yeah, we are not responsible for their lives. And yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I loved that. I even wrote some of these down, that remembering that emotions are contagious.
Mm.
You know, your feelings that you have, but your emotions, you know, it is true. There is that difference when you have a feeling about something versus when you have it and it is spreading and you can feel it. Yeah, that's really good.
Jen, there's a question from Neela in the chat.
Okay.
How do we keep our positive emotions and feelings while facing the unpredictable situation, especially to prepare and adapting to, quote, the new normal? So about trying to stay positive with emotions and feelings.
Yes. So sometimes when emotions are so intense, as I said, we need to do something in the moment that help us to be calm and to come in the present. And there are, for example, some techniques like look at some things in your surrounding, just notice and name some things, because you force the brain to be present in the present and to not be in that fear mood. Because yeah, this fear or grief, maybe they're the most predominant. And it's sometimes useful to think about a positive emotion, because it's usually hard when the thoughts are so deep in our root. Our brain is with so very old paths of going into fear or into anger for others or anything like this. So try to bring some positive emotions and to think, okay, what am I grateful for today? Can I think about somebody that I do have a feeling of appreciation and I want to send a card or an email or Facebook message? So we can bring some positive emotions and to work with emotions, not with thoughts, because like as I said, if they're too strong, it's hard to relate so well with this. So think about something, a positive emotions that you can feel in the moment. And as I said, it's always something that we are grateful for, even though it's so hard. Or yeah, we can still anticipate something nice in the future, even though we are uncertain and we don't know anything for sure. Or again, think about your vision for your life or your life. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? And yeah, let bring joy, bring sometimes a hobby or doing something that, or reading a book, or yeah, just do something that brings joy in your life. There are always these things, because we are still the same personality, we have still the same interest, even though during this pandemic they are not so powerful as before, but we still can find joy in life. And emotion coexist. I didn't say this. I thought about. So we can still have pain and joy. We can still have, I don't know, fear and gratitude. So emotions coexist. and it's important, yeah, to let or invite the positive ones.
I love that, Danielle. I love that idea of not only thinking of someone you're grateful for, but then writing the email or making the call. It's that action with it that helps solidify it. I really like that. That's nice.
Yeah, it was an experiment about this, to write for 21 days appreciations, and yeah, they discover a lot of change in people's life, just writing appreciations for 21 days. It's kind of long, but you may, if you want to try it, please.
It's nice. That's nice. Anyone else? A lot of kudos happening in the chat. Very practical. Love those inputs.
Jen,
thank you. Yes, Neem?
Jen, if I may ask Daniela again, Daniela, if it's up to you to answer. As a coach, as a psychology, who accompany people going through this time, what is your challenge? I mean, what is the hardest situation that your client facing it? I mean, it is a desperation, it is losing hope. I mean, they just completely blank. They just don't want to do anything. If you want to share. If you don't want to share, it's up to you.
No, I can say that people are different even here. So most of my clients who are leaders are from USA, from America, and maybe it was the lack of motivation at the beginning, but after, yeah, they get over the denial and anger phase of a grief, they just try to motivate themselves.
Great. I think Imas, did you have
like
something?
Yeah.
Yes, Imas.
Thank you, Daniel. I want to know, that's the personality, like introvert or extrovert is have a correlation with the ability to manage emotional.
Yeah, they react different, and for extroverts was actually very hard this period of time, because they take energy by being with people and having a lot of social events, and I think it was harder for extroverts with this time. Introverts can always read a book, enjoy themselves, think about other things. But still, you know, that even if people are introvert, they need people, they need others. But I also saw something funny on Facebook with an introvert just hitting his head of the window, and an introvert being so happy. So yeah, people also make fun of their strengths and limitations.
Yeah. Did that answer your question, Imas?
Yeah, and it's correlation with the hoax, you know, wrong information. That's, I think, for me, the hoax make me like a trigger to emotion, because our team some with the hoax, and I need to extra, you know, to convince that this is hoax, not the reality. That makes me like a trigger of my emotion. That's I think because I am extrovert, or I don't know. That's how I, what you call, my behave. To respond friend or my team.
So I'm sorry, you must want to make sure I understand. So you're saying that when people say it's a hoax, it's a trigger for you, and you want to know facts and information, and you're wondering if that has to do with your whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, or if it's just who you are as a person. But you know that that's a trigger for you emotionally. When people say it's a hoax, you want information and facts. Yeah? Is that... Yeah, it's. I think it's important to know your triggers. It can be. Yes. I don't know, Daniela. Do you have thoughts on whether that has any relation to
actually, I don't know this word, hoax.
Hoax,
If you can
fake,
help
like
me.
when people say fake news.
Okay.
Information is, this whole pandemic is fake, it's not
Yes.
real. And versus, you know, it makes Imas angry, or it triggers an emotion in her to want to know information and facts rather than just deny it and say it's not real.
Yes, it's important for sure to look for reliable source of information. Yeah, and I think at the beginning, maybe we all were in a denial phase. We didn't want to accept that it will come and it will be so like this. But yeah, we definitely need, and in general, it's good, not even during this time, but to check in our own mind and to say, is this a fact or it's just a fear? Is something in my mind? Do I have proofs about this, or yeah, I'm just imagining things.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So Nsé has something, and then I'll go to you.
I'm just saying that what I just heard from Danielle is very important, and it's going to really help, starting with the 2 circles, the inner and the outer one. When we started, I almost burst a blood vessel trying to, yeah, because I couldn't cope. I thought they would have understood what we stand for. When I say what we stand for, women and things surrounding gender issues, you see, I know, and I'm in the one inside, I can control it to a state, but the people outside that we are supposed to work with, I'm referring particularly to COVID-19, they don't want to listen to us. They don't want to work with us. They refuse to give us passes, permits to work during the lockdown. And you feel like shouting and screaming because they don't have that feeling. Maybe they do have, but they don't show. But to work directly with these indigent women in the communities, these widows, these people at the orphanage, they are comfortable being the one handling the palliatives when it comes in and telling you this goes to the so person, to so local government, or to this officer to be in charge. So at times you really want to let loose because you bottle up. Why are they not listening? Why don't they want to understand? And you see, coming from a background of civil society, that we think that we've been working so hard over the years trying to explain things to these people, in quotes, that this is how they should do. We should relate. We are not coming. We are not, hunting them. We are just complementing their duties. Work. They will form a committee and would not include a single woman. The only woman in that community, in that committee, is because courtesy of her position as a commissioner. But to outrightly go and bring a woman to see, yeah, you people are there. You are the ones that wear the shoe. You will know where it pinches. Come, they won't. When they are planning what palliatives to give, they didn't put women. And so they forget that women, a greater number, need some hygiene products. They just think it's all about rice and beans. You know, they don't want to listen to you to say you should have packaged this kind of thing, because we have young girls who cannot get sanitary towels this period, either because they don't have the money, or they can't go outside because of the lockdown, or the shops are not carrying it. They don't know what it takes. It's the women, but the women are not in the group. So they just say their plan. So it's very important when Daniela spoke about the 2 circles. I'll carry that circle permanently. Maybe I'll even draw it physically and hang on my neck as a reminder, because at times you are really pissed off and you want to do something. Let me blow them. But maybe I should forgive them. Maybe they don't have that understanding either. So I'm happy about this particular topic.
I think we all need a tattoo of the circles. Yeah.
I think I do. We do.
Yeah, but it can feel very frustrating when you feel like you have information and resources to share and no one's listening, like you're yelling into the wind, and people are doing it incorrectly and feeling out of control. So yeah, those 2 circles are handy.
Yeah.
That's great, Nsé. Sue, did you want to say something?
Yeah, comment and maybe a reaction from Daniela. I think it's a feeling, not an emotion, that a lot of us who are better off in terms of still having jobs, having access to food, etc., that we're feeling is guilt. So much of the news is filled with the food lines, the families that are out of work, the debt, people losing their homes, just terrible tragedies and sadness.
Yeah.
And I know for me, here I sit in my home with plenty of food in my fridge and a paycheck every 2 weeks, and I feel guilty. I feel happy and lucky, but I also feel guilty. And I don't know what to do with that. So I guess I'm asking Daniela, is that something that you're seeing with your clients? And are there any tips for trying to handle that? And I think as women, we probably feel it even more so.
Yeah, it's true. What I learned in training is that when a client asks a question, that is the best question to ask the client back. So what do you think, Sue, about this guilt?
I mean, I do it. I think I try to assuage the guilt by really at this point, since we're not leaving the home, by making donations to food banks, helping financially. Really, it's the only way right now, other than volunteering physically. And I feel that because of my age, I am at a higher risk, so I don't want to put myself. But then I feel guilty. Why am I not volunteering? I see other older people volunteering. I mean, it's just this circle. I honestly, I don't have a good response to that question, Daniela. It's a struggle for me every day.
Sometimes we have a false guilt. I mean, as you said, if you did your best, and yeah, we all know our limitations. As I start with emotional balance, the first step is self-care, to take care about ourselves, because when we take care about ourselves, we can give more to others. And you can give to your team, you can give to so many women when you are taking care of yourself. So please take care of yourself first, because in this case you have a lot to do, and you are more present to others that are around you and are there to receive from you. So I would say it's a false gift. Self-care first, and you will have a lot more to give and to be present.
Thank you, Daniela.
It's so true. You've been giving to your family, Sue, to your team, to everyone on these calls.
Yes.
And the ripple effect is there. So that's great. Anyone else? Well, I'll tell you, Daniela, one of my big takeaways that I started to cry, I started to mist up, which isn't a surprise, is that when you said the research shows that you can't tell if a hug is coming from somebody else or yourself. I am missing hugs so much. I could cry just thinking about it. And when I did that, I felt it. So as an extrovert who misses being with people, that was huge. So thank you for that.
I'm so glad.
That was great. That was really great. You're just going to see me hugging myself all the time now.
Yeah, actually, and I realized after I prepared for this that I knew from I have my husband in my home. We are both working from home always, but still, you cannot interrupt something from his calls to your husband to say, I need a hug now. So yeah, why not?
It means a lot. Yeah, really great. Well, on that, we are well over time. I think we could keep talking forever, but Daniela, I just want to thank you and remind everybody that Daniela will be back again on Thursday if you're able to join us again. And I'm sure there'll be some more great discussion. So thank you so much. Round of applause.
Welcome.
And everybody, be gentle with yourself. Take care of yourself. Focus on your inner circle. And we'll see you all next week.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
All the
Enjoy your week. Bye.
Thank you, Daniela.